The race has already begun. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies of 2016 that are already generating Oscar buzz.
Führen jetzt ganz schön viele Begriffe rum hier, ne? Spaß, Glück, Leben. Was findest denn du lebenswert?
For this list, we're looking at films that are already surrounded by speculation that they'll be nominated at the 89th Academy Awards, whether for acting, directing, or any other category. We're not saying these movies are a lock, but they're at least in the conversation.
What you put out into this world will always come back to you.
Number 10, Arrival.
I'm Colonel G.T. Weber from Intelligence. Pack your bags.
Genre films don't tend to be major Oscar bait, but when they're as elevated and cerebral as this one, it's anyone's game. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, the man behind 2015's unexpected hit Sicario, this film takes a personal, more human approach to the first contact story, showing humanity's efforts to communicate with alien beings that have arrived on Earth.
What happens now? They arrive.
Amy Adams in the starring role furthers the movie's Oscar chances, since she's been nominated a whopping 5 times, without winning.
We need to make sure that they understand the difference between a weapon and a tool.
With a supporting cast including Jeremy Renner and Forrest Whitaker, and a Rotten Tomatoes score of 93%, we can surely expect this one to connect with the Academy.
It's a good story.
Thanks.
Number 9, Nocturnal Animals.
My ex-husband used to call me a nocturnal animal.
I didn't know you had an ex-husband.
As the second Amy Adams movie on our list, this flick shows off a completely different side of her talent.
Did you love him?
I did something horrible to him.
Based on the novel Tony and Susan by Austin Wright, Nocturnal Animals tells the story of a couple, played by Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal, that are at odds with one another.
When you love someone, you have to be careful with it. You might never get it again.
There's also a story within a story with Isla Fisher playing a fictionalized version of Adams. Other powerhouse actors including Michael Shannon, Laura Linney, and Michael Sheen round out this ensemble cast, increasing the chances of Oscar gold even further.
I think that to be really, really good, you have to come from someplace inside that I'm just not sure I have.
Plus, at the helm is luxury fashion designer Tom Ford, who previously impressed critics with his first film, A Single Man, in 2009.
The stories are so intertwined that, in a sense, it is all one story. They feed each other.
Number 8, 20th Century Women.
We are at a turning point in our history. As you know, there is a growing disrespect for government.
Always the bridesmaid and never the bride, Annette Bening has been nominated 4 times combined in the Best Supporting Actress and Best Actress categories. But each time, victory has eluded her.
You don't know what I'm feeling.
Hilary Swank has beaten her twice.
I just think that, having your heart broken is a tremendous way to learn about the world.
Critics expect she'll be nominated for her portrayal of Dorothea Fields, the single matriarch of the family at the center of this coming-of-age comedy drama.
I think maybe you guys can help me with Jamie. How do you be a good man? What does that even mean nowadays?
The cast is stacked with critical darlings, including Greta Gerwig, Elle Fanning, and Billy Crudup, who populate the film's world of 1979 Santa Barbara. It's also directed by Mike Mills, the same man who helped Christopher Plummer earn his long-awaited Oscar for Beginners. So maybe his magic will work for Bening this time.
So, sweetie, I don't know if we ever figure our lives out. And the people who help you, they might not be who you thought or wanted. They might just be the people who show up.
Number 7, Jackie.
People like to believe in fairy tales.
Biopics are perfect Oscar bait, especially when they're about someone as iconic as U.S. First Lady Jackie Kennedy. And when she's portrayed by Natalie Portman, an industry veteran who's due for an award season comeback, there's no limit to what this film can achieve. Jackie doesn't cover the entirety of the First Lady's life, but instead follows her time in the White House, as well as the immediate days after JFK's assassination, allowing for greater emotional depth.
What's wrong with you? You don't have to do this.
I will march with Jack.
Freeze, Ed!
Alone if necessary. I'm not the First Lady anymore.
What's more, it marks the English-language debut of Chilean filmmaker Pablo Larraín, who also crafted the 2012 Oscar-nominated film No. Plus, Jackie has another powerhouse name behind it with producer Darren Aronofsky, the acclaimed director who got Portman her win for Black Swan.
I'm guessing you won't allow me to write any of that.
No. Because I never said that.
Number 6. Fences.
Hey, Pop. Can I ask you a question? How come you ain't never liked me?
From the moment we saw this movie's spellbinding trailer, which seems worthy of an award by itself, we were intrigued.
What law is there say I got to like you?
None.
All right, then.
The fact that Fences is a theatrical adaptation of a beloved American play adds to its Oscar bait potential. But add Denzel Washington and Viola Davis to the mix, and you know it's definitely going to be in the awards conversation.
I get up Monday morning, find my lunch on the table, go out, make my way, find my strength to get me through to next Friday.
After performing the play on Broadway with Davis, Washington decided to bring this story to the big screen. He tapped the original playwright August Wilson to write the screenplay and directed it himself, making the drama Denzel's third directorial effort.
I ain't got to like you. Now, I don't give you everything I got to give you. I give you your life.
Early talk has Viola Davis as a shoo-in for a Best Supporting Actress nomination, and Denzel with either an acting or directing nod.
I gave 18 years of my life to stand in the same spot as you.
Number 5. Silence.
He's been shot-listing this and shooting this movie over and over in his head.
Sometimes a bit of mystery gets the award talk going. Little is known about this Martin Scorsese project, and its first trailer only came out a month before the film's actual theatrical release.
Our Lord said to them, "Go ye into the whole world and preach the gospel to every living creature."
But critics are expecting a lot from this over 2.5-hour-long film. Starring the talented trio of Liam Neeson, Andrew Garfield, and Adam Driver, the story focuses on a group of Jesuit priests that go on a mission to Japan, but face opposition from the locals. A passion project that Scorsese had been reportedly trying to adapt for the big screen since the early 90s, Silence seems to be a departure from his usual stylized gangster films.
What's the difference?
But that risky venture might pay off big come Oscar time.
I pray, but I'm lost. Am I just praying to silence?
Number 4. Loving.
I want to take Mildred up to D.C. and get married.
You sure about that?
Based on the United States Supreme Court decision Loving v. Virginia that struck down laws against interracial marriage, this historical drama is already being considered an important film that will resonate with the Academy.
Richard Perry Loving being a white person and Mildred Jeter being a colored person did unlawfully cohabitate as man and wife.
Director Jeff Nichols, the critical darling behind Take Shelter and Midnight Special, leaves the courtroom drama behind to present the intimate and romantic relationship between Joel Edgerton and Ruth Negga's characters.
I'm gonna raise my family here. I don't care what they do to us.
The film was well received at Cannes and could gain even more momentum because of the current political climate in the US, thanks to the film's ability to open up conversations about race.
Is there anything you'd like me to say to the Supreme Court Justices of the United States?
Yeah. Tell the judge I love my wife.
Number 3. Manchester by the Sea.
If it was between me and your father, who would you take?
My daddy.
Streaming giant Amazon has put a lot of money into this one to get its first Oscar win, and odds are pointing in the company's favor. The film was acquired by the online retailer after a bidding war following its Sundance premiere. Casey Affleck and Michelle Williams lead the movie, and there's strong talk of nominations for both.
Could we ever have lunch?
You mean us, you and me?
The script, written by the film's director Kenneth Lonergan, sounds especially strong, since the story focuses on Affleck's character moving back home after the death of his brother and becoming the legal guardian of his nephew.
I don't understand.
Which part are you having trouble with?
Well, I can't be his guardian.
Expect this to be a tearjerker and an emotional roller coaster. The perfect combination to earn Oscar votes.
You don't want to be my guardian? That's fine with me.
Not that, it's just the logistics.
All my friends are here. I got 2 girlfriends, and I'm in a band. You're a janitor and Quincy.
Number 2. Moonlight.
What you looking at me like that for? What, man? Come on, you just drove down here? Yeah.
Earlier in 2016, this small indie flick seemed like a long shot. But a lot changed once it made its way into more theaters. Based on the play, In Moonlight, Black Boys Look Blue, it follows the life of Chiron, a young black man growing up in the Miami neighborhood of Liberty City. Director Barry Jenkins took an interesting approach, breaking the movie into 3 parts, with Chiron being portrayed by 3 different actors over the course of his life. The final result is brave, romantic, and quite unlike any other coming-of-age story we've seen before.
At some point, you gotta decide for yourself who you're gonna be. Can't let nobody make that decision for you.
It premiered at the Telluride Film Festival in September 2016, and it's been quietly creeping into the critics' best films of the year conversation ever since.
So where you gonna stay tonight, man?
Before we unveil our #1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
What if you do find home and they're not even there? And you just keep searching?
I don't have a choice.
This is the captain. Brace for impact.
What?
You don't think I'm strong enough?
I don't know if you're cruel enough.
Powerful men don't have to be cruel.
#1, La La Land.
You could just write your own rules, write something that's as interesting as you are.
Does Hollywood love anything more than movies about Hollywood? But seriously, any picture starring Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone is sure to get the buzz going. They play 2 young people trying to make it big as a jazz pianist and an actress, which puts a strain on their romantic relationship.
How are you going to be a revolutionary if you're such a traditionalist? You're holding on to the past.
The chemistry between the 2 leads is undeniable, and many are predicting an acting nod for Emma, who shines in her performance.
Is that gonna happen every time?
I think so.
Meanwhile, director Damien Chazelle, an Oscar nominee for his 2014 movie Whiplash, brought this lush film to life by making it both a musical and a throwback to the era of old Hollywood glamour. Do you agree with our list? Which movie do you expect to win big?
You're saying you could go to prison.
But I don't know how I'm gonna live with myself if I don't stay true to what I believe.
For more award-worthy top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Please, Lord, help me get one more. Help me get one more.